This is CBC Nova Scotia News.
Tonight, what police are saying about a double homicide in Pictou County. Short-lived run. The MV Confederation made one round trip between PEI and Nova Scotia before being cancelled once again. And wish list to Santa. Why some Cape Breton kids are asking for household essentials in their stockings.
Our next system rolls in tonight with a messy mix of snow, changing to rain with very gusty winds for Thursday. Your full forecast is coming up.
Good evening. We begin tonight with word from the RCMP about what they're calling a double homicide in Pictou County. The RCMP have ruled 2 deaths in Green Hill last month as murders. Police were called to an abandoned vehicle on McLean Road on November the 9th. Officers discovered human remains inside the vehicle. Today, the RCMP have identified the 2 people found dead as 32-year-old Kelly Trask of Truro and 34-year-old Tyler Marr of Grand Prairie, Alberta. Trask was reported missing on November the 14th. Police considered the circumstances around her disappearance to be suspicious. The homicides are still being investigated, and anyone with information is asked to contact police. Many municipalities in Nova Scotia are welcoming province-wide rules for council member behavior, but some still have concerns and unanswered questions about the mandatory Code of Conduct policy. Luke Ettinger has that story.
A code of conduct for municipal councillors was introduced by the province this fall. It covers collegiality, respect, integrity, professionalism, transparency, and responsibility. After 2 years of consultation on the policy, local elected officials must sign on.
Municipalities in Nova Scotia are not Chicago politics. I'm not going to have the town crew here building me a deck, and I just don't think you'll see that. But in the event something happens, we do have this to fall back on.
Fuller and other municipal leaders agree the code is needed. Still, there are unanswered questions about the new policies, but municipalities are required to adopt the code of conduct by December 19th.
Does it matter if I support it or not? Probably not, because His Majesty in Halifax has said so.
On Monday, Truro Town Council voted 5-2 to implement the code of conduct. But councillors raised concerns about challenges hiring an investigator. That would create a report on any complaints. In Chester, members of council are concerned the code may view volunteer activities as a conflict of interest.
We're relatively small communities, and the half of the reason we got elected in the first place is because we're involved with all of these community organizations.
Weber says it's been hard to get clarification amid back-to-back elections.
The timing was not perfect. New councillors aren't even aware of what we do, hardly, let alone how they would be in conflict.
Still, Fuller says the sanctions and a framework to apply them are welcome. The punishments range from warning letters and training to an up to 6-month suspension from duties or a $1,000 maximum fine.
Nothing hits harder than a sanction that might affect your pocketbook.
The Department of Municipal Affairs says they'll continue to work to bring municipalities on board, adding they've yet to receive any negative feedback. Luke Ettinger, CBC News, Halifax.
After many delays, Northumberland ferries sailed between Nova Scotia and PEI once again this morning. But after just one round trip between Wood Islands and Caribou, there was a technical issue. And that's putting the ferry out of service once again. Tony Davis has more from PEI.
This was the scene in Wood Islands this morning. The MV Confederation finally repaired and sailing again after 10 weeks out of commission.
So we're very pleased to be back in service and look forward both to the remaining part of the season and then an exciting and busy year in 2025.
That all changed late this afternoon. Just before the 3 p.m. sailing, staff flagged a technical issue with the boat's engines and canceled the rest of the day's crossings.
Well, it's a bit disappointing. It's a technical issue that needs to be fully investigated. We'll find out the solution and sort it out. It's really unfortunate for those who showed up to then not be able to get on the ferry. Anytime anybody misses a sailing because of a an operational issue. It's disappointing for sure, and we're doing our very best to get it sorted out.
Joyce says it's not clear at this point just how big the problem is or how long it will take to fix. There are just 2.5 weeks to go before the end of the sailing season. The Eastern PEI Chamber of Commerce says even before today's developments, businesses who rely on boat traffic already felt it was too little, too late.
I think the problem being is that the confidence in the system is gone. This season is over as far as most operators are concerned.
It has been a rough year for the ferry service. In mid-September, the Confederation struck the wharf in Wood Islands, knocking it out of commission. Then the other ferry on loan from Quebec, the MV Sarima, ran into engine trouble that took it out of service. Now today, after just one round-trip sailing, the Confederation's out again, with no timeline on when it could return. Tony Davis, CBC News, Wood Islands.
And Ryan Snodden with us now to talk about some windy weather on the way.
Yeah, that's right. And it is going to be a bit of a mess early on for your Thursday morning commute. Be mindful that we could see some slushy conditions. Northern parts of Nova Scotia is going to be the best chance of seeing a trace to a couple of centimeters of accumulation, maybe as much as 5 over the Cobequid Pass, but a pretty quick change to rain along the Atlantic coastline, or perhaps in places like Yarmouth, just rain. And yeah, we are going to be seeing a pretty good shot of rain. Looks like we'll see widespread 10 to 20 millimeters in the north and 20 to 40 in the south, but as much as 50 perhaps for Guysborough and into Cape Breton. Let's have a look at the timing. Again, a couple of flakes possible through the overnight into the early morning hours for the west, and then you can see we pretty quickly changed to rain for the western parts of the province. Some lingering snow into the lunchtime hour for the northeast over higher terrain areas, Mount Tom, that higher terrain stretch of the 104. But you can see, yeah, we're quickly changing to rain even there. Periods of rain into the afternoon, very gusty southeast winds, widespread gusts 50 to 70 kilometers per hour, but we could see some gusts 80 kilometers per hour along the Atlantic coastline, and we're talking about gusts to 90 kilometers per hour for Cape Breton and 130 for Les Wet winds. Then a shift to southwest winds as we move into the afternoon, and then finally a west to northwest wind Thursday night into Friday, which will usher in much cooler air. And we're going to freeze up on Friday. Chance for some onshore flurries, even some snow squalls developing, and a wintry theme for the weekend. We'll talk about that with your full 7-day coming up.
Lots to talk about. Okay, Ryan, thanks so much. We'll chat a little later.
Thank you.
Well, a special delivery arrived at the Glace Bay Food Bank today from PEI. A tractor trailer full of food and milk marked the annual tradition between the two islands. And this year, organizers say it's the largest donation to date. The CBC's Kyle Moore has the story.
A forklift from a nearby business was needed to handle the largest donation of food yet from PEI for the Glace Bay Food Bank.
There is approximately 10,000 cans of milk and 750 10-pound bags of potatoes. I would say about 8 to 10 bags of carrots and turnips also.
In a show of teamwork, the Glace Bay Miners under-18 AA hockey team formed a line to haul all of the food and milk inside, a huge task that required all hands on deck.
I think it's good for the team to spend time outside of the rink together, just having a good day, know they're doing something good, really kind of get to know each other better. So yeah, I think it's really good.
The annual delivery started several years ago after Mickey McNeil put out a call for aid. Each year, a volunteer driver heads to PEI to pick up the goods. It's a big help, especially at this time of year.
$4.50 a month in food hampers. And the product can also be used upstairs in our kitchen, so we can feed over 100 a day.
Linda McRae says the relationship between the two islands is one that means a lot.
It's amazing to see another province come on, because I'm sure they're feeling the same thing we over there with their food banks and everything. So to have this relationship is just amazing.
McNeil has been behind this holiday effort since day one. He says every year it's getting bigger.
To receive a call about a week ago from another farm that wanted to donate too because he heard his neighbor was donating. So that's all great. Like I said, the more they want to give, the more we'll take.
The volunteers say the donations will help provide food for those who need it throughout the cold winter months. Kyle Moore, CBC News, Glace Bay.
Rather than plastic toys and pricey electronics, children at 2 Cape Breton youth centres are asking Santa for pillows, bedding and toothbrushes. This comes after their top wish last year was food in their stockings. Aaron Potty has that story.
Each year during the Christmas season, children at this Cape Breton Youth Centre are asked what they would like from Santa. Staff and volunteers say what some tell them is heartbreaking.
Their wants for Christmas are more things of pillows, blankets, clothes, boots, personal hygiene, things that you would never expect kids to actually ask for Christmas.
Last year, topping their list to Santa were requests for food, and not the type of food most people would expect from children.
Mostly it's fruit and vegetables. Like if they can have fruit and vegetables every day, that'd be a blessing to them.
The group manages a drop-in space in Sydney Mines, as well as a sister location known as Clifford Street in North Sydney. At both youth centres, children are asking for everyday essentials like toothpaste, boots, and slippers, a reflection of just how much families are struggling.
So our kids are asking for, we're going to say, more thoughtful gifts, something that's going to make them last. They're making adult decisions when they should be making kids decisions for something shiny and loud and obnoxious and annoying. It'll break in 5 minutes, or you wish the battery would die quicker.
A retired police officer, Ratchford helped found the North Sydney Youth Centre 16 years ago. Now they operate an after-school lunch program.
Sometimes, and of late, we've been opening on the weekend to feed our kids because, frankly, our kids are actually starving on the weekends now.
In the last few weeks, Clifford Street was also vandalized. A group of kids kicked in the centre's back door after realizing their weekend meal program was not operating. Ratchford says it's a sign of the hunger children are facing. He's calling for more community support and help from both levels of government so children can get help when it's needed. Aaron Potty, CBC News, North Sydney.
One of the new streets that has been renamed in Halifax has finally had its signs installed, and that's cause for a big celebration by family and friends of Alfred Waddell. He was known as a doctor who dedicated his life to helping people who had limited access to medical care while also fighting racial injustice. As Gareth Hampshire tells us, his family and those who knew him are proud he's being honored.
The street sign honoring Dr. Alfred Waddell is a tribute to his service in Halifax. It makes the drive along the connecting Brunswick Street special for his grandson, Dr. Ron Milne, who's seeing it for the first time.
Oh, yes. Wow. There it is.
The sign was recently installed as part of the Cogswell District development. It's where a lot of Waddell's patients lived through the 1930s and 40s.
He was an advocate for marginalized people and a doctor for them as well. And yeah, this is the area that he served.
The city's recognizing Waddell for a number of accomplishments. He was one of the first black doctors to graduate from Dalhousie, was known for treating Viola Desmond and trying to get her conviction overturned, and established his first practice in this building, a few blocks away from the new sign. He died suddenly in 1953 and has been an unsung hero until now.
Yeah, I mean, I hope it will prompt interest for people to find out more about him and about that era, which was, quite different at that time, and that he was a pioneer for a lot of the things that are happening today.
Dr. Waddell left a lasting impression on Mary Mohammed. She's a former patient and family friend.
He meant a lot to me, and I meant a lot to him too. He treated me like his own daughter.
She's 93 now and still appreciates how Waddell was dedicated to serving people who struggled to get access to medical care.
He was so important to the patients around this area, and he was black, and the black patients were finding it hard to have a good doctor.
He's thought to be the only physician who provided house calls to historic black communities at the time. And he did all of this while fighting racism and segregation, as well as raising a family with his wife, Amelia. It's a proud moment for Dr. Milne, who'll be showing the photos to his 99-year-old mum. He says is also thrilled the city her dad served is now paying tribute to him. Gareth Hampshire, CBC News, Halifax.
And as we head to break, a nice shot of Dartmouth there. Ryan Snodden up next with your full weather forecast. We'll see you back here in just a few moments. Back to talk weather now, and nice day in Halifax, but some not so nice weather on the way.
Yeah, it's going to be a real mess tomorrow, a windy mess that is, and messy early on with that mixing of snow and changing over to rain throughout the morning commute, and even into the early afternoon for the Northumberland Shore higher terrain areas up in that neck of the woods. But yeah, primarily wind and rain. We'll talk about that, but first a shout out to the grade 5s up in Lance, and had a great visit with this crew today from Maple Ridge Elementary.
Looks like they enjoyed your time with them, remotely as it was. Smiles on their faces there for sure.
So many great questions. They were absolutely super engaged. Just a ton of great questions. And the virtual visits are great because I can visit lots of schools all across the province. So thanks to the grade 5s at Maple Ridge Elementary for having me. And we did talk all about the weather today. That's for sure. We covered a lot of ground, and we're going to cover a lot of ground here in the forecast as we look at the warnings in place. Lace of wet wind warnings, wind warning in effect for Guysborough and Antigonish and all of Cape Breton. And then, of course, northern New Brunswick dealing with the snow and even some coastal flooding concerns there. For us closer to home, yeah, looking at a few flurries still lingering for Cape Breton this evening. Those are easing. And then as we work our way into tonight, it's just going to be quiet across the province before our next system rolls in. As we look at the satellite radar picture, there's the system moving out of the Great Lakes and into our region. So timing things out, there are the onshore flurries coming to an end for Cape Breton. Quiet through tonight. The clouds quickly building into western areas, and that cloud cover will roll in as we move through the overnight for Cape Breton. We're looking at a couple of flurries on the leading edge of this, but it will be that accumulating snow that's looking most likely will be crawling in through the morning hours. The valley, I think, is going to be one of those spots, Hants County, across to Halifax County, and then across into Pictou and Antigonish counties, those higher terrain areas throughout the morning. Cobequid Pass, of course. And then that transition to rain throughout the morning in through the south and west. And these gusty southeast winds, which we will time out in just a moment. You can see for Cape Breton, bit of mixing there as well. And then that change to rain. And that rain will be quite heavy, especially the eastern shore and into Cape Breton. That's where we're looking at our greatest chance of cracking 50 millimeters with this system. Some lingering showers and, yeah, even a few flakes mixing back in by late Thursday evening as the winds do shift. Another look at this snow rain outlook in case you're just joining us. Again, it is the Atlantic coastline, primarily rain. The greatest chances for that mixing of a trace to as much as 2 centimeters is likely a safer number for most, but Cobequid Pass may get to 5 centimeters of accumulation. Of course, the Cape Breton Highlands, potential for 5 to 10 centimeters, and those winds will be howling, gusting to 90 across the island, except 130 in the lace of wet winds, downsloping from those highlands tomorrow. We are going to be looking at temperatures eventually getting up into the 7, 8, 9 range. Central regions, temperatures 7, 8, 9 degrees here as well. Southeast winds gusting 50, 60, 70, and yes, even 80 kilometers per hour along parts of the coast before they do shift back to the south and west. Southerly winds gusting to 70 for the west in the morning and then shifting to southwest into the afternoon with gusts to 50. Let's time out those winds. So quiet tonight. You may hear that wind waking you up before the alarm clock does early on Thursday morning, and it does quickly pick up. There are those gusts I talked about, 50, 60, 70. That's kind of widespread for Thursday morning into the afternoon. And this is where the winds will really start to ramp up here for the eastern half of the mainland. Note that shift to southwesterly for you folks in the Tri-County area. Thursday evening, starting to see that shift to a southwest wind in Halifax. And there are the winds rocking through Cape Breton, and they will be a howling for sure. Into Friday, the winds shift to a west to northwest direction. This is key because this will fire up some onshore flurries for the Bay of Fundy region and the Northumberland shore and Cape Breton as well. Could see some snow squalls developing for Cape Breton. So that's going to be the setup we're watching in this very chilly setup. And so, yes, a heads up on that. Note the cooler temperatures Saturday into Sunday. It is a very winter-like weekend. And then temperatures rebounding and maybe even some double digits for next week. Tom.
All right, up and down we go. Okay, Ryan, thanks so much for that.
Thank you.
Coming up, I'll speak to the Nova Scotia Dental Association about fluoride interruptions in Halifax's water supply. Fluoride units at Pockwalk Lake and Lake Major have been offline since May 2023 and April 2020, respectively, due to equipment issues. Pockwalk should be back online in the coming weeks. There is no estimated repair time for Lake Major. Dr. Claire Karst is with the Nova Scotia Dental Association. Dr. Karst, when you heard Halifax Water was no longer adding fluoride in the city's two big watersheds, what was your reaction?
As president of the Nova Scotia Dental Association, I can speak on behalf of all dentists of Nova Scotia. Our reaction was one of great concern because of the potential negative impacts to the oral health of Nova Scotians, particularly children and perhaps the elderly in long-term care facilities.
So, what do you think of the communication around this? Were you surprised to learn it?
Yes, we were surprised. We were noticing, a disturbing trend that we've been picking up in Nova Scotia municipalities on the heels of New Glasgow municipality declaring that they are going to be stopping their water fluoridation. And then shortly after that, we realized that Halifax Water had stopped their fluoridation from Pockwalk and Lake Major.
Can you remind people what fluoride actually is and what it does for our teeth?
So fluoride is a natural occurring element in nature and can be found in groundwater sources. So fluoride is a proven element that helps to, when ingested, improve the quality of the enamel in developing teeth because of the framework as the teeth and the enamel are developing. That hydroxyapatite is then turned into fluorapatite, which is much more sound in terms of acid resistance. So that's from a systemic standpoint of ingesting the fluoride. And we also have the opportunity to use fluoride in a topical sense, applied directly to the teeth, and that helps with remineralization.
And so Halifax Water says the reason why the fluoridation stopped was because of an equipment breakdown. They're working on that. But there is, I guess, really a whole cohort of young children who will not have had fluoride in their drinking water for some time at least. What is the potential effect of that?
Well, as I stated, with the young children, if they don't have the opportunity to drink the fluoridated water, then their developing enamel will not have that opportunity to have that extra hard layer of protection on their teeth. So they may be more susceptible for developing early childhood cavities, or caries, as we call it in our profession.
And what about seniors? You mentioned them. I mean, what can they be? What could they do if they were concerned about the health of their teeth, given this time period without the fluoridation?
Well, community water fluoridation can be thought about as a systemic benefit, but also a topical benefit. And when we think about seniors, if they have the opportunity to drink the fluoridated water, but they don't have the opportunity to leave a long-term care facility to go see a dentist, when they're ingesting that fluoridated water, then that fluoride is brought out in their saliva. So then they have that protection. So, this is our concern for individuals who are living in long-term care facilities, who have chronic disease and they don't have the opportunity to have their teeth brushed. So it is a huge concern. So prevention is our best efforts to try to, battle these situations in long-term care facilities through toothbrushing with fluoridated toothpaste.
Okay, and Halifax Water says it's working on the issue, trying to get the equipment fixed. In the meantime, what do you recommend people do while that fluoridation system gets worked out?
I think the best advice, and we as dentists of Nova Scotia advocate for early intervention for our children. We advocate that the best time to bring a child to the dentist is by age 1, and that's usually 6 months after the first tooth erupts. And, you know, we as oral health care providers don't expect that child to sit calmly in the dental chair, but that's our opportunity to give those parents, those young parents, some education on how to best protect their children. So my advice to families in Nova Scotia is, you know, with young children, bring your children to the dentist, bring them at a very young age, so then we can get started on how to advise you on best practices at home, and also to educate you on what factors create tooth decay. So the food choices that we have, and you know, that is a huge factor in our education.
All right, Dr. Karst, great to get your thoughts on this. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Coming up, political upheaval in South Korea. The country's president faces impeachment after his failed attempt to impose martial law. And facing up to an alarming trend, dermatologists warn that young Canadians are using inappropriate skincare creams. Welcome back. Assembly of First Nations chiefs from across the country are gathered in Ottawa this week. The focus today is on how to renegotiate a deal with Ottawa to reform the First Nations child welfare system. But the deal continues to face fierce opposition. And as Olivia Stefanovich reports, time is running out to negotiate a new deal before the next federal election.
Since the very moment this assembly started, it was clear children would be the focus.
Because too many First Nations children continue to be taken from their families and their communities.
But a debate over what's in the best interest of First Nations children continues.
The next iteration of the long-term agreement really has to show how Canada is going to change its ways to ensure discrimination doesn't happen again. The last agreement fell far short of that as well.
Ottawa is offering $47.8 billion to reform the on-reserve child welfare system, a deal negotiated and endorsed by AFN leadership. Money meant to keep parents and their children together by ensuring a roof over their heads, food on the table, and having counseling services available.
I really supported this because I need some financial resources and help create our own prevention program and child and family services in the community.
So he's defeated.
But back in October, AFN members resoundingly rejected Ottawa's multi-billion-dollar offer, following concerns funding would only be guaranteed for 10 years and because children and families living off reserve are excluded.
For them not to be compensated is actually, it's discrimination at its finest.
This First Nations leader says the federal government needs to send the deal back to the drawing board.
It would be nice to get the settlement done completely right away, but it doesn't work like that. There's a lot of gaps in the system that they haven't really fixed.
You know, I just see this ending up in court if this AFN tries to push this long-term reform.
Some chiefs are so upset with the leadership, they're calling for the AFN to be dissolved altogether.
We need to really consider revisiting the organization. I call it an organization because it does not have the right to speak on our behalf.
The AFN only has one more day left of meetings this week to make a decision about child welfare reform, and less than a year to secure the money with this Liberal government. Olivia Stefanovich, CBC News, Ottawa.
South Korea remains in the grip of political turmoil in the wake of the president's failed attempt to impose martial law. Protests by thousands of people stretched into the night in the South Korean capital, with demonstrators demanding the resignation or arrest of President Yoon Suk-yeol. In the early hours of Thursday, South Korean lawmakers formally introduced a motion in Parliament to impeach the president. South Korean troops entered the national legislature yesterday after the president suddenly imposed martial law. But the attempt to disrupt 4 decades of democracy was met with widespread defiance by parliamentarians and the public. Lawmakers in France from both the right and left joined today in a historic no-confidence vote in an attempt to force the country's prime minister to resign. It comes just 3 months after he took office. Crystal Gumansing has the details.
Pour l'adoption, 331.
331 members of Parliament out of 574 voted in favor of a non-confidence motion that brought down Michel Barnier's government, the French Prime Minister becoming the first to lose his position since 1962. Now, what happens next is he will have to offer his resignation to French President Emmanuel Macron. Macron can choose to accept it or not. It's believed he will accept it and then try to find a new prime minister. There can't be another election because there was one just in the summer, and there has to be a year between elections. elections in France. So he will have to find someone who is able to at least try to unite a very fragmented political scene. The far-right leader of the National Rally Party, Marine Le Pen, has said that she is not calling for Macron's resignation, even though she and many in French society see Macron as the architect of the political chaos that is unfolding in France, saying that pressure is piling up at his feet and ultimately he has the last word. We don't know how long it'll take for him to name a new prime minister, but Macron will not be able to hide away. He will be in the spotlight in the coming days. Macron expected to host President-elect Donald Trump in France this weekend. Crystal Gamansing, CBC News, London.
The head of a major U.S. health insurer has been killed in New York City in what police are calling, quote, a brazen targeted attack. United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson was shot this morning outside the Manhattan Hotel where his company was holding an investor conference.
The motive for this murder currently is unknown, but based on the evidence we have so far, it does appear that the victim was specifically targeted. But at this point, we do not know why. This does not appear to be a random act of violence.
Police say the gunman appeared to be lying in wait for several minutes before calmly approaching Thompson from behind and opening fire. They say many people passed the suspect, but he appeared to wait for his intended target. The man fled the scene on foot and was last seen riding an e-bike into Central Park. Police say they haven't yet established a motive. A Scouts Canada employee who handled safety complaints is now suing the organization. He says the work was traumatizing and the mental health supports offered to him were not nearly good enough. Nicole Williams has the details and a warning. This story deals with both sexual abuse and suicide.
Not much brings Stephen Greenside's comfort these days as he talks about the job that changed his life forever.
I don't feel any self-worth or value. I feel like I'm a burden on my family. I feel like a total failure.
From 2016 to 2020, Greensides worked for Scouts Canada in its Safe Scouting department, responsible for safety complaints from youth and volunteers across the country, including reports of sexual abuse.
And it just really became focused on that. We, with the grooming, the predator behaviors, the violations.
Greensides has since been diagnosed with depression and PTSD, and he's no longer able to work. It's why he's now suing Scouts Canada for more than $2 million in damages. In his statement of claim, Greensides alleges Scouts Canada didn't do enough to prepare him for the job. He claims his mental health was irreversibly damaged because of repeated exposure in responding to sexual and violent traumas, and doing so with inadequate supports, assistance, and supervision.
Should have had regular checkups, should have rotated him out. We don't leave soldiers at the front line for years on end anymore. We rotate them out. We get them treatment.
Greensides says he began coping with drugs and alcohol, at one point considered suicide. And he says the mental health resources offered through his benefits were limited. Scouts Canada denies all of Greenside's allegations against it. In its statement of defense, the organization says it is transparent with all incoming employees joining the Safe Scouting team. It provides a robust extended health benefits package, which includes mental health resources like counseling. And at no time during 2016 to 2018 did Greensides raise any concerns with respect to his mental health. But Greensides and his legal team argue leadership at Scouts Canada never checked in on him either.
Scouts Canada wouldn't comment on the case because it's currently before the courts, but says it's significantly enhanced its policies over the last 40 years to better protect youth. Volunteers undergo rigorous training. They need to do a police check every 3 years in order to work with kids. And a volunteer isn't allowed to be alone with a child. Nicole Williams, CBC News, Ottawa.
A group of Quebec chemists are warning about adult skincare products being used by children. They say the ingredients could be harmful for young skin. Vanessa Lee looks at what parents should know about the social media-inspired trend.
Are these products good for your age?
Swayed by videos posted by beauty influencers on social media, many tweens and teens across the country are obsessed with skincare.
This moisturizer makes me feel very hydrated.
Including 12-year-old Lauren from Toronto.
I want to keep my skin healthy because I break out sometimes and I have acne.
Oh my God, these look like proper tanning drops.
Quebec's Order of Chemists is concerned about the viral trends.
Let's talk about how I just had a chat with a 9-year-old who just bought these.
It says kids are being enticed to use products meant for adults, not suitable for young skin.
We needed to raise a flag on the different exfoliants and anti-aging creams that some kids as young as 5 years old go out and buy in different stores.
Anti-aging creams often contain retinol, which dermatologists say is unnecessary for those who haven't reached their 20s, when collagen begins to decrease. They also point to chemical exfoliants containing alpha-hydroxy acids and beta-hydroxy acids being irritating by nature and can be harsh on sensitive faces.
We do know that they are going to cause, inflammation, redness, scaling. This is something that can jeopardize the natural skin barriers for which you need, regular creams and moisturizers.
In Sweden, a major pharmacy chain has banned children under 15 from buying products with those active ingredients, saying using advanced skincare that, for example, aims to reduce wrinkles and get a more even skin tone is not something a child needs. So what should a skincare routine look like for tweens and teens? Dr. Ivan Litvinov says to keep it simple.
We recommend using a simple, fragrance-free moisturizer and a sunscreen.
Hey guys, get ready.
Experts say they're still studying the long-term effects as they go up against influencers with their message, less is more. Vanessa Lee, CBC News, Montreal.
The historic Province House in the heart of Charlottetown is due to reopen next fall after 10 years of renovations at the cost of nearly $140 million. One of the key changes will be to include the history of Indigenous and Black communities on PEI. Nancy Russell takes a look.
People walking the hallways of the renovated Province House will be offered a new visitor experience, one that is diverse and inclusive, not just the story of the Fathers of Confederation. Now visitors will learn about PEI's Indigenous people and the island's Black community.
Because when this building was first created and the purpose of this building, it had no Indigenous voices or Indigenous stories included then. So it's really important now that we have a chance to get them included now.
When the story of Confederation has been historically told, it's usually told from the perspective of the Fathers of Confederation, and it's their stories that we've heard. There were also other communities that were here at the time. The Bog existed, the historical Black community that was right here in Charlottetown existed at the time, so there was Black community here.
One of the challenges for the people creating the new visitor experience is this building and finding space to add more voices and content.
It is a working legislature, and so we were limited somewhat to the space that is available for the exhibit. One of the ways that we're mitigating that is to present the exhibit or present the content as an audio guide. So visitors will be able to pick up an audio guide device.
McDonald says the exhibit will be presented in English, French, and Mi'kmaq with a capacity to add more languages in the future. Deciding what stories to tell also took work.
Oh, there was a bit of compromise because there's only so much wall space here. There's only so much space for all of these different voices that are going to be incorporated in Province House. And so I would have loved to have more different things, more different people, more different stories. But the fact that we have what we did, I'm very happy with the work that we've done together to make it a really amazing learning experience for everyone.
Having the province, having Parks Canada be able to stand on this decision to include all of these stories and all of this information in this way, I think it's going to be really great to see people take that in and soak that up. Yeah.
Parks Canada says the goal is to have Province House open to the public in the fall of 2025. Nancy Russell, CBC News, Charlottetown.
A Canadian has become a bit of a star in the NBA, but not for his moves on the court. It's what he's been doing for the players in his chair that's winning him acclaim on both sides of the border. Jamie Strachan has that story.
In a luxury hotel suite high above the Toronto skyline, Taran Damrit sets out his tools.
You don't know what poutine is?
What is it?
His client, Indiana Pacers All-Star Tyrese Halliburton.
I've been told that I have an elite lineup, one of the best lineups in the league, and that comes from this guy. So, when people know he's in town or when I'm seeing him, everybody wants to get a cut.
If cutting hair was a sport, Damrit's game has come a long way in a short time.
I didn't know what I was doing in terms of work and whatnot. And then a buddy of mine that was actually a barber growing up, he was like, why don't you start cutting hair?
Well, he's a complete guard.
He grew up with a number of future NBAers in suburban Toronto, including Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Those friends became clients, the job taking him around the league, even to the Olympics.
Because it's word of mouth, like if you do a good job, and then the next person wants a haircut, and then it just kind of keeps going.
For players, how they look is almost as important as how they play. Their hairstyle and clothing choices transcend far beyond the arena.
My haircut, my style, all those things play into who I am as a human being, and that goes into how I play. So I feel like they're all really connected.
Damrit's work is plastered all over social media, its reach extending into barbershops around the world.
And make sure that you're combing the hair back down.
At Carlos Bonifaz's shop, Damrit inspires young clients.
The influence that these NBA players have, these artists have, is so important because they're literally these kids come in and they're foaming over them and they're like, I want to look like this.
I'm not really a Raptors fan, so.
Next stop for Damrit, LA, to meet one of the league's best, Anthony Edwards, buzzing, clipping, and trimming his way to the top of his profession. Jamie Strachan, CBC News, Toronto.
Wondering with that wind, if you have any leaves left in your yard, will they be blowing around or blowing away or?
Yeah, blowing into your neighbor's yard.
Strategically blowing into your neighbor's
or
yard.
Up towards your house. Those are always the tough ones that are up on the porch, and around the deck furniture, if there's any left out. So it is going to be windy tomorrow. Southeasterly winds will be howling. And then a pretty gusty day on Friday from the west to northwest. That'll fire up some onshore flurries and a few snow squalls if you're going to be traveling. So lots to be on the outlook for. Have a look at our viewer picture of the day. This one down to the southwest, Clyde River. And how about this shot?
Oh, that is nice, isn't it? Morning light, I guess?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
And, a little bit of sun. Or a little bit of snow.
Yeah.
It actually looks
look
pretty nice.
Very
this time
pretty,
of
doesn't
year.
it?
We're not tired of it yet, right?
Still early in the game.
That's right. That same photo in April, not the same appeal. Have a look at the watches and warnings quickly. We do have a lace wet wind warning, a wind warning in effect for Nova Scotia. And again, the winds for the Guysborough, Antigonish, and Cape Breton regions will gust to 90 kilometers per hour. There's the headline in terms of the rain and snow. Most of the snow in New Brunswick, most of the rain in Nova Scotia. With that messy mix for northern areas, tomorrow morning could be a little bit slick there for inland higher terrain areas before that eventual changeover. So a heads up on that. Higher terrain areas of the north, indeed. There's that rain for Thursday afternoon into Thursday evening. And then on the backside of that low, that cooler air rushing in, there's where we're going to see those onshore flurries developing, coming in from the Bay of Fundy, Cobequid Bay, and then eventually into the later stages of Friday afternoon. Inverness County looks really set to see some of those onshore flurries and squalls. So we'll be watching for that. There's the 7-day. Pretty chilly for the weekend, that's for sure, and then rebounding next week.
All right, nicely done. Thanks very much, Ryan. Well, billed as Europe's most expensive Christmas tree, it's on display in Germany. And in this case, all that glitters is gold. Yeah, the tree stands more than 3 meters tall and is made up of 2,024 pure gold coins. It's valued at more than 5 million euros. That's about $7.4 million Canadian.
The 1 ounce coins are produced by the Austrian Mint and honor the Vienna Philharmonic Orchestra. The tree topper is a giant 20-ounce version of the coin. The golden tree is an annual display at the commercial gold dealer in Munich.
My tree will have a lot less gold on it.
Yeah, I think so.
That's it for us tonight. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.
Good night.